Hey guys, what's going on? Mass Gunner here, bringing you guys another gun review today. So, for my next gun review, I'm going to provide a little bit of a backstory for you guys. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, so much so that I read all the novelization of the books. I have all the video games, all the comic books. As a matter of fact, I even have the first promotional comic book they were promoting back in 1998, and I had that thing like CGC encapsulated, and they gave me a grade and everything. So, and I'm also a huge fan of the Barry Burton character on that gaming series. So imagine my surprise when I was walking through the gun store one day and I came across this. And this is a sweet gun. It is a beast too. This is the Smith & Wesson 629 competitor model, 44 Magnum. And when I saw this gun and sitting in this shelf, I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta have this." I think I ended up trading in two guns just to get this one, and plus paying $500 on top of that, just to go home with this gun right here. Oh, a second, my AC's kicked on. It's funny, I was interrupted by the AC that time and not my cats. That's a first for the show. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, so anyways, when I saw this gun sitting in the shelves, I was like, oh my god, that looks like Barry Burton's Silver Serpent, model and the Resident Evil games. The reboot of the first one. I think in the original one he had like a Colt Python, and in the reboot he had a modified Colt Anaconda with that a heavy bore barrel and not and a full underlug. So by the way, I changed the grips out because I didn't dig those fucking like rubber grips on those guns. I mean, I don't know why Smith & Wesson. I mean, this is not a cheap gun, $1,500 gun right here, so it's not cheap. So I don't know why Smith & Wesson cheaped out when they gave me the rubber grips. I mean, it's not like this gun's punishing to shoot. I mean, actually, it's pretty sweet. Actually, I mean, with that full heavy underlug of the barrel like that, it's actually pretty tame, really tameable. It's like that because I guess they thought I guess a lot of people are just recoil sensitive, so I guess that's why they put those rubber grips on there. But I had to change those out because a gun like this, as beautiful as it is, deserves a lot more better than just cheap rubber grips. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, it's also weighted down on the top here. So you see, you have these weights here. So it has Allen head in the front here, so you can kind of take off what you don't like and just put like plastic ones. But I just put the full metal ones because it's not like I'm gonna be carrying this gun or anything. Well, I guess I would if I was going to Alaska and I had it like in a shoulder holster or something. I guess I would carry this gun in that case, but I'm not going to Alaska anytime soon, so who knows. So this is a performance center gun, which means it has a really sweet trigger on it. I mean, for $1,500, it better have a sweet trigger with all the bells and whistles. I swear, I think there was like when I went to the gun store that day, there was like five. And then my gun guy was like telling me, yeah, man, I had like six other people looking at this gun today, so he might have been just lying just to try and get me to buy on the spot. And I told him, since I know the guy, I mean, personally, hey, Chief, you mind if you hold this? And I got some guns I want to trade in. I got two guns I want to trade in: a DPMS AR-10, I believe. Yeah, that's what it was, and a Glock 20 I had. So I ended up trading in those two guns to get some credit value, so I can just kind of go home with this beauty right here. And he gave me a pretty decent trade value. Of course, I ended up having to pay like $1,000 worth of trade value, and I ended up like paying $500 out the door on top of that just to get this. But hey, man, I think it was well worth it because I've had this gun for like years and years and years. I mean, like I don't know why I'm saying years and years for. I only had this for like what four or 3 years ago, I believe. So yeah, 4 years ago. I remember because yeah. So yeah. I mean, it looks if you by just looking at it, all people, a lot of people are gonna think of it as one of those law enforcement, those PVC, not the PVC, what do they call it? Those police competition revolvers, you know, with the full lug like that. I know what it's called, but I know that's what a couple of guys at the ranch was comparing it to it. They think I could kill like a rhinoceros with this, even though I wouldn't kill a rhinoceros at all. I mean, they're going extinct. You can't kill a rhinoceros. If you do, you're an asshole. And well, anyways, yeah. Now, when I'm shooting 44 Magnum out of this gun, it is really, really tangible. Like I used to have like a 627. What was it? The 629 conforms it with that slab-sided barrel and 2.5 inch barrel, and that thing would literally cut into the webbing of my hand. Like I would be bleeding. It was just that gun was not fun to shoot at all. I mean, I would have to wear gloves for that to enjoy shooting that gun. But with this, you know, really, really easy. You hardly even feel it. It's just like a minor like that. And 44 special, forget about it. I mean, it's just basically nothing out of this gun like this. Now it does have these heavy duty target sights on here, which they work. I mean, I didn't. They were right on when they were right on. Damn it! We're cutting the grass. You guys can hear it, yeah. You guys. Yeah. So yeah, they were right on from the factory when I put them down. When I put rounds on paper, so I didn't have to make any adjustments to it. Now it does have this weird Picatinny rail. Well, I don't know if you would even call that Picatinny. It's kind of you could put a scope on it, but I don't put scopes on a handgun. That's just reserved. That doesn't really make any sense to me to put a scope on a handgun. I guess you could if you wanted to, but you know the sights on this are well enough. I mean, I wouldn't think you would have to put it unless you're like old or something. I saw one guy on YouTube put like a red dot on it. I don't know how that would work, but I guess it could if you just kind of dial it in. Another thing, I hardly see any YouTube videos on this gun. I believe that what was that old guy? Oh, I'm that old guy that does all the gun shooting videos. I forget his name, but yeah. So, in summary, would I suggest you buy this gun? I mean, if you wanted it, I mean, it is a little overpriced for what it is. I mean, it is like It is like a $1,500 gun. I mean, if you ain't got like money to spend, I mean, don't spend the money. Just get yourself like a regular 629. But if you want something with a little more style to it, and something that's unique, and you're gonna be like you're gonna turn heads every time you go to the gun range, then yeah, I would get something like this if you have the money to spend. So yeah. I also got, by the way, I also got the I also got the 357 Magnum version of this gun too. So all together, I spent like $3,000 just on on this type of gun. So yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I hardly ever shoot that gun. I just shoot it every once in a while. I'll do a separate review on that one if you guys want. But yeah. By the way, I got my new grips on my Colt Cobra, so check that out. It's pretty neat, huh? I like this a whole lot better than the rubber grips. So yeah, they are a little thick though, so that's one bit of a downside. Very, little thick in the, little, very thick. But yeah, it looks pretty, so that's a plus. Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's been my review of the 629 competitive model. If you guys know the drill. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to post in the comment section, and I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. So yeah, take care, guys. Bye.